them salad bars.
Typical black man, man. I need my pork
Jeff like
and my hot sauce.
I'll take you to one of them salad. What do you call that? Green salad or whatever this place called Salada. They do salad. They make a pork.
Oh man, we live, y'all. Here we go.
Where do Riley and the Heat go from here?
The change has to start with Pat Riley. It's time. It's time. You have never heard anyone say that about the great Pat Riley, who I revere. I know this man. I got a lot of love for this man. I appreciate what he has done for the game of basketball. I don't have any doubt that he knows what he's doing when it comes to basketball in terms of what the team needs, the coach it has, etc. The reason I'm bringing up that there has to be a change in Miami is because you have to get people to want to come to Miami. And he's not that guy anymore. Not that guy. He knows what he's doing. He's not.
Bam, 2 straight years of losing in the first round, and obviously you guys hold yourselves to a higher standard than that. What do you think needs to change?
What needs to change? I don't know. It's going to be a lot of changes this summer.
The Jeff Fox Show, brought to you by Remix Sports Media.
Happening, y'all.
He's still eating.
Hey, I got my I told you hat on.
What did you tell us?
Ooh, go back and look at some old film about this thing with Pat Riley and Jimmy Buckets. Just go back. This is my I told you hat.
Wait a minute. I told you guys. I'm the one that said, well, I don't want to say it too loud, but
say it loud and proud, baby. James Brown.
A lot of people thought I was being disrespectful to the
You
God.
were. You were. And you were being clickbait. You were.
Clickbait. Why is everybody in the country saying that Pat Riley needs to go?
Oh, everybody in the country 3 months too late. We called this back in January, man.
Yep.
Way back.
Yep. And that's why I was in full support of Jimmy Butler during the whole Miami Heat, Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley versus Jimmy Butler thing.
Oh, you were flip-flop doing the whole thing.
Oh, I wasn't. I was firmly on Jimmy Butler's side.
Time out. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Fissy. How are you?
Good morning, y'all. Before we take the knives on each other and stab each other, can we at least say good morning to each other? Jenny, you're looking amazing.
Thank you,
Jeff, in the left corner, you're looking healthy and wealthy and wise. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So good to see you.
That's why we need you on this show. Because me and Jenny just ready to go at each other.
Tearing each other to shreds, man. We 62 seconds in, they killing each other. But good morning.
Because he knows he got more flip than flop.
Oh, Jenny,
they call him
Jenny.
You know Flip Wilson, Flip Fox, right there. He got more. He just flippity flop all the time.
Jenny,
She
we're
is with a
still trying to. Hey,
a flip
Jeff,
Wilson.
Don't take the pick. Jenny, we're still saying good morning to each other, and we're trying
We
to be
already
nice.
said good morning. It's
You
time to dive
know,
right in.
no. Before we bring the knives out, we want our esteemed host to tee this up about Pat Riley, and then we can bring the knives and the guns and whatever out. But can you
You
please
know,
tee this up for us, host?
sometimes you just got to just jump all in. You know, the water may be a little chilly.
Stop
You just
it.
got to jump in.
Let Jeff tee this up, please.
Well,
Well,
he
yeah.
started wrong.
Well, the thing is, we discussed this months ago on this show. Jenny was on Pat Riley's side. I was on Jimmy Butler's side.
And
we
then
went
somewhere
back.
along the way, you flipped between the sides.
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
Yes, you did.
Jenny, will you allow him to please tee this up?
But Fitz, don't you remember? Don't you guys remember me telling you that the game has passed Pat Riley by? That maybe the heat culture thing was being overblown. That maybe Jimmy got tired of taking a bunch of YMCA guys to the NBA Finals, not once but twice. How do you not remember that?
Jenny, will you address that before?
I'm not saying I don't remember that. I'm not saying I don't remember any of that. What I am saying is, though, 1 minute you're saying this because you were like, first I'm all in on the soapbox. I'm all in Jimmy Butler. Then the next minute you'd be like, well, okay, yeah, Jimmy was wrong. You flip flopping. I'm not going to say you didn't. You did say probably. I think probably before I remember hearing anybody say something about it was time for Pat Riley. And then that was what opened up the discussion for us saying, who could fill those shoes? And I said, Eric Spoelstra.
Yes, you did.
And I second that.
Right. I can acknowledge that. That did happen right here on this
Yes, it
show.
did. Well,
This show.
well,
But the only thing I gave Jim that I got on Jimmy about was when he came back home and he did not really acknowledge his teammates. That is what I had a problem with.
Mhm.
Guys he went to battle with.
that wasn't all, but I'm gonna let it go because Fitz don't want us to fight.
No.
one of
We
those,
can fight. We can
one
fight
of those-
now.
one of those basketball, where Fitz is getting in between us. Because
Now, I don't understand how Stephen A. Smith went on ESPN and said no one has ever.
He didn't watch you. He didn't see you.
Yeah,
He didn't watch you.
I
You were
said
on this 4 months ago, and I was piggybacking with you. We said it was over. Over.
I can look at my phone right now, and I sent the YouTube clip
You got it.
of me calling out Pat Riley.
Yes, sir.
I sent it to Stephen A. I sent it to Chandel Richardson.
did it get read though?
They ran it in Sports Illustrated. It's documented. So, I can pop my collar this
Hey,
morning.
baby. I'm with you. Jenny.
I'm not happy about this.
No.
I'm not. But it is time for Pat Riley to go. And I kept saying Pat Riley needs to get with Jimmy Johnson, go down there to Key West, and enjoy life. I also said that Pat Riley's legacy as the Godfather, as
It's
a
secure.
championship coach, as a great organization, is secure.
Secure.
He brought us championships. He brought us a parade down Biscayne Boulevard. He said this is what he was going to do, and he did it.
Yeah.
Props to him.
His
When it's time.
legacy is secure, Jeff. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Jenny, we also said this too, and I said it. You got to know when you lost your fastball.
Yep.
And sometimes you gotta let the king know when you don't have no clothes on. But
Goodbye.
when what I knew of Pat Riley, amazing coach, general manager. He won with LA, he won with Miami. But
He won
Stephen
in
A.
New
is saying
York.
nothing we didn't say. Miami should be a destination place.
Absolutely.
It should be just like LA. And I've been saying this and I will keep beating the drum. No state income tax, team that's won multiple championships, a continuous, they are a competitive team, got great executive management, ownership. It should be a place for destination, and it's not. And
Super
where I was, and I'm gonna give it back to you, Jenny. Where I was upset with, I said Pat Riley lost his fastball. He let Jimmy Butler, who is not even nowhere near some of the greatest players he's been over,
Mhm.
hamstring him. And I said, what should have happened? He should have held Jimmy hostage. Not maybe the best word, but he had the leverage. He didn't have to trade him. He
Oh,
could have
that-
held
that-
out. And
I
what we
just-
just saw with this series, think about it. They made a trade to pick up those guys, and they still lost by 55 points, and they're stuck with these guys. Jimmy would have value after the season, Jenny, for trade. He would be an asset to try to help this team. Now they're sitting with no assets, and they got the kid from Golden State they made the deal for. And again, look how they're going to fall behind the Pistons and all these other teams. Just Riley should have never given the guy up. I'm sorry.
YMCA guys.
Yeah.
LA Fitness guys.
But I
ready
think
to
we
see-
kind of knew when we traded them that we weren't getting. It was one of those. Okay, he wants out. Tired of fighting. He wants out. Not saying that it was right or anything or whatever. But I'm saying I think we knew going in to the trade that we weren't getting our value. It was a matter of, the locker room. The locker room is suffering, and our reputation as a franchise is suffering. And I felt like it was, like I said, I felt like we knew, but it was a matter of, okay, let's try to get anything that we can and get him out of here. I think it was to that point. So like I said, we didn't get the best end of that trade. We all know that. Just like the Mavericks didn't get the best end of their trade. I mean, and that was far worse egregious than ours.
Well, Jeff, if I may, that was a day trade that Pat Riley made. That was not for the long term.
Right.
Yeah, the market was volatile at that time. To what Jeff said, Jimmy was holding out. Those were the circumstances that were going on at that time. But if you're going to stay in this game, the stock market game, this game that we call NBA, you cannot make deals like that on emotion. They need to be thought out. Jimmy was an asset, and they gave him away for
But
nothing.
Chris, I disagree with you. Here's why.
Okay.
Because Jimmy had to go. Jimmy created a toxic environment.
Mm-hmm.
He forced his way out of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He did all kinds of different shit. Like, for real, he was just not cooperating with Eric Spoelstra. They suspended him. He didn't care. Like, he made it really difficult to be in the locker room with him. And I said all along, I don't blame him, because he kept going to the finals with no shot at winning. Because if you make it to the NBA finals, the team on the other side is going to be a complete basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be a juggernaut of an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy never had a chance in the finals. Maybe if Goran Dragic wasn't hurt in the bubble, or that might have played into it. But I think the Lakers still would have beaten them. I think they went down to what was it, 5 or 6 games against the Lakers?
6.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this team has always been overmatched. There's no way Jimmy Butler should have made it to the NBA Finals. Jenny and I debated, is he a superstar? And here's why I said yes. Because he impacts the game in so many different ways. And playoffs Jimmy is real.
Mm-hmm.
And Pat Riley and the Heat organization what they pride themselves on is nobody tells us what to do around here. We're Heat culture, you know? And they ran everybody out. They ran Dwayne Wade out. They ran Shaquille O'Neal out. And then and the most recent one, of course, was Jimmy Butler.
Mhm.
Like, no players, the inmates don't run this asylum.
Agreed, 100%. And
Why
yeah,
today's player is out of touch with Pat Riley. Something
Jeff,
I've seen many times before.
Jeff, you made an excellent point on Jimmy Butler, and I think you and I both agree he was the one asset that the Heat had.
That's it.
Okay, so I understand he was a cancer, but Jeff, there's still ways to dispose of that asset just a little bit more um, professionally and looking out for the long term of the Heat. Could have left him on pay. Remember, give him paid leave. He didn't have to be in the locker room, but we're going to pay you through the season, and we're going to put you over here till we let the season play out. And then when the season's over, we get to the draft, we can make a better deal for us. What they did, Jenny, and this is where I'm going again, they day traded. They moved him, right? And
Right.
look what they got in return. And my point is they could have gotten a better return for him at the end of the season and still got what they got. They got blown out. They're going to get blown out without him. So
really?
just say they removed Jimmy. They're going to lose by 55 because we saw they're going to play either Cleveland or Boston. We saw that. It was going to happen. So why bring in the kid from number 22? I can't call his name right now. I don't know what
Andrew
drawing
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Andrew
They're
Wiggins.
stuck with Wiggins, right? And they made that trade to get Wiggins and another player, right, Jenny? And still lost by almost 100 points in 2
They're
games at home.
trash. They're trash.
They're better without Wiggins. They're better without that other guy, and having Jimmy just being paid leave. Then let's make a move. Because Wiggins did nothing to help them during this series. Nothing.
Because
I,
he's
I,
trash.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with anything that you're saying. I don't.
And Jeff's other piece that adds on to why Riley was over is done. He brought up D Wade, Jenny. Look how they did D Wade. He's
Yeah,
working with Utah. He's
that
working
was
with Utah. Come on.
yeah, he's got ownership over there. Yeah, that one kind of hurt me because when I woke up, I was like, this got to be a prank.
Mhm.
This got to be a prank because this is Wade County.
Yeah.
You know, this is Wade County, and yeah, that was like how the Dallas Mavericks felt about Luka.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how we felt about Dwayne
Yeah.
Wade, and I like I said, I was in disbelief. You know, I kept looking, trying to search the internet. I said, this can't be true. And
Mhm.
you know, he looks back and he admits that was
Yeah, that's what they give him the stats.
that was bad. In
Mhm.
they have since, you know, gotten back on terms, but you know, that's always going to be in the back of his head that, you know, I could have spent my perfect career here
Ish.
and it didn't and it didn't happen.
No,
But
it didn't.
they brought him back though. They brought him back.
You know, for all the accolades that we give Pat Riley, and well deserved,
Mhm.
this is a dark day
It
in the
is.
history of the Miami Heat franchise.
Yeah.
Because what we saw on national television
Ooh.
was the darkest day in Miami Heat history. They looked like they were playing the Monstars from Space Jam. Like they were getting slapped all over the place. At one point, I think it was 55-21. Like I'm in the press box like this.
You sent me a
I
message.
came up. I was just eating my popcorn. This is over with. This is abuse. They should have brought the Cavaliers up on charges. You know, they should have taken the jail at the end of the game. That was abuse on national television. And we kept getting hit with the left and hit with the right. Thank you, sir. Can I get another? That might have been the death of Heat culture.
Jenny, piggybacking on Jeff, did you just see the difference in the talent level of the Cavs
Was
to the Heat? It looked like a JV against varsity. The size that they had.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of games. Number 45, he played so, and they still blow him out.
Yeah.
It just looked
they
like
got beat
JV varsity.
in Game 3. They set a record for the largest playoff loss in Heat history. And then in Game 4, they
Broke it. 2 days later, they broke it.
I'm not happy about that. I'm not. I want to see this team win. But let's face it, man. This shit is over with.
Hey,
And
man.
I give Jenny credit for one thing. Because Jenny was the first person who suggested it. She said Eric Spoelstra should move up to the front office.
Mhm.
And you know what, Jenny? I disagreed with you before, but I agree with you now.
Mhm.
It's too late.
Oh, stop. No, let's do a kumbaya. How about
Yeah.
this?
What do
Jeff, you
I-
were on it. You were on it at the beginning of the
Bye.
year.
Yeah.
You said Riley was at time, and you gave the information about how they did not get players around Jimmy. That was one of your pieces. Then also you said, look how they did Dwayne Wade. So you asked yourself back then, those were the signals, those were the red flags. And then
And
Jenny
players talk.
piggybacked and said, no, let's move Spoelstra. If we had done all that back then, getting rid of Riley, Spoelstra,
Well,
we may have a different outcome right now.
Don't say get rid of Riley like that, because
Wait. Wait. You want to sugarcoat it? What do you call it, Jimmy?
Okay. Yeah. He's
Put
sitting up
him out
there.
the pasture. We're gonna put him out the
There in the
pasture.
left-hand corner with the want to play on words when that's what he's saying.
What about you just said send his butt down to Jimmy Johnson marathon. Those are your words.
the Key West, Jimmy has a nice boat down there, and Pat can go there with Jimmy and go fishing.
And they both got beautiful hair.
Yeah. The problem with the Heat is the reputation around the league, the Heat culture thing. Yeah, it's real, but it also scared away a lot of players. How many times have you heard, oh, this free agent is rumored to be interested in Miami, all these other teams, but you know who's always included? Miami.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had a big whale since the Big Three. The last big pickup was Jimmy.
I agree. Do you both agree on this? It would have been better for Miami to not make the playoffs, have Jimmy on suspension, than to see what we just saw. What do you think, Jenny?
I mean, yeah. Because the only reason that I really wanted for them to make the playoffs was because Jimmy showed out and we moved on from him. I like I said, I just even wanted one win for them because we all know that they were outmatched.
Yes.
They were outmatched talent-wise. Cleveland been doing it consistently over the season. So we knew. I was hoping. I just wanted one game, and they came out strong a couple of games, like they were going to try to do something. At least, like I said, get me one game. And, sadly, we fell short. Across the board, we fell short.
Jeff Fox, this is what I saw. I think a really young, dynamic general manager of Spoelstra is, say if I was in that spot, I would put Jimmy on suspension and I would have tanked the season.
Yeah.
I would have tanked to get a way better draft, and maybe I would try to let Hero and Bam do their thing to see if somebody else would be interested in them. But I would have tanked the season, Jenny.
But weren't we already headed in that?
They kept trying to play.
Involuntarily, weren't we already headed in the tank direction?
Yeah, but I would have went in. I would have been playing you and me and Jeff.
I will ask Rodney in the chat, do you remember me telling you that either Udonis Haslem or Alonzo Mourning should move into that GM spot? And then Jenny suggested Eric Spoelstra, which I reluctantly kind of agree with now. But I also thought about James Jones coming down from Phoenix because he's a Miami guy, but something has to change. And never in Miami Heat history was this clearly more evident than the bitch slapping they got in games 3 and 4 on their own home court. That hurt. And that should be enough of a motivation, because right now, as we speak, they're having their exit interviews at the arena. And right now, the Miami Heat's future is kind of up in the air. And I think it's time. That this cannot go on another year. We can be the kings of the play-in. When we had Jimmy Butler, Jimmy was enough of a dog that he took this team to the finals not once but twice.
Mm-mm.
Jimmy's gone now, and he's enjoying life. Meanwhile, all we've done is lose in record fashion. 10 straight losses. Waiting for Bam Adebayo to become a productive superstar. That's never going to happen, at least not in Miami. And Tyler Hero, as much of a dog as he shows us he is every now and then, he's just a pup.
Those play-in games, he looked great.
Yeah.
But again, that was against the 9th seed and 10th seed. Them teams were nobody. But if I'm a season ticket holder for the Heat, after what I witnessed, paying to watch those last 2 games and losing by an average of 40 points, wow. And you want to have me re-up maybe with a 5% increase?
You got to be embarrassed right now. Like, in the name of Ronnie Cycli, in the name of Tim Hardaway, and
Willie Burton, in the name of Willie Burton.
And Earl Washington and all the great Miami Heat players, Udonis Haslem. Like,
In the name of Grant Long.
Yeah, man. Like, what the hell was that? What was that? And Bam is like, at the end of the game the other night, after the brutal beatdown, it was brutal, bro. It was brutal. Some guy did a Michael Jackson impersonation at the game. That was the most interesting part of the night. They had zero chance.
Jenny, the game was 43-19 at the end of the first quarter.
I know.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Abuse.
Rough.
Abuse.
Wow.
Again, they were playing the Monstars from Space Jam. Like, they had no shot. It was pathetic. It was. And
They was sitting on 30 points at halftime. And I think Cleveland was like 78, pushing 80, and Miami had 30 points. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
When the Miami Heat franchise came to South Florida, that's how far back they took it. Like, when we were like, what do you call it? An expansion team. The expansion team.
They look like an expansion team.
Yeah. Yeah. It was embarrassing.
That was
so Bam. I don't know, man. I'm looking at Bam and I'm looking at Tyler Hero. But mainly I'm looking at Bam because this is inexcusable.
Bam, 2 straight years of losing in the first round, and obviously you guys hold yourselves to a higher standard than that. What do you think needs to change?
What needs to change? I don't know. It's going to be a lot of changes this summer. Just from my point of view, understanding how, the guy with the silver hair works. So just be prepared for that. And, for me, man, it's understanding got to figure out how to win a game in the playoffs. You understand how hard it is when you actually get into these trenches. So you take that and you figure it out.
Oh, can I say something, Jeff? This just hit me while that view went on. This is why I talk about you don't day trade. Just like how the stock market goes down, you don't try to catch a falling knife. You have to ride it out. They had an asset with Jimmy, $50-something million a year. Didn't we just see a quote-unquote superstar from Milwaukee get knocked out for the 3rd year in a row in the first round?
Well,
probably may not want to be there. But you have Jimmy Butler and maybe Bam Adebayo. Maybe Milwaukee may bite because he's going to probably want out of there. I think he's about a year or two left on his contract. I'd take Giannis in Miami.
yeah, guess what? We all would.
Yeah,
We all would.
but you have Jimmy Butler along with somebody, maybe a draft pick. But Giannis, what can you give Milwaukee now for Giannis?
The whole goddamn team. That's what you give them. The whole team.
This is why patience works sometimes. And that's why I said Pat Riley's, because he would have held that, tanked the season, but you don't give Jimmy away. He's showing at Golden State he can play. He still got it. He just didn't want to give it to Miami.
We knew that, though. We knew that.
But you were saying he wasn't a superstar.
No,
I
didn't
still
say
say he's not a superstar.
He's a star. He's
Still
a
not.
very, very, very good player. He's working with because he,
But
no, I'm with you, Jenny.
Superstar don't go to another team and then he's the number 2. A superstar is a superstar wherever he goes.
Okay, so is LeBron
Because he's that guy.
is LeBron James a superstar?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
But did he go to the Lakers and be number 2, or was he number 1?
he's number 1. But
Okay, then that's what I'm saying. Wherever he goes, though, he was number
He's a
1.
star.
That's
Yeah,
what a
but Luka
superstar
just showed
is,
up.
and what a
Luka's number one
superstar
now.
does.
Luka just showed up. Who's number 1 now?
Luka,
Are you making my
but they're
point
both
or-
superstars. They're both superstars,
Yeah,
and
but
Luka.
Jenny just said somebody has to be number 1. So who would you have?
No, I said you don't go to a team and be a number 2.
Yes, you can.
Jimmy is not Jimmy is not a superstar. He was our superstar, but he's not the superstar that goes to any team, and when he goes there, it's his team.
See, I wish
It's his team, and he's the number 1 guy. That's what a superstar is, because meaning you could plug him in anywhere. He's still the superstar. You plug him in anywhere, he's still the superstar. He's still the number 1 guy. Jimmy went up there and he even said he's the Robin, Steph's Batman.
Yep.
And
So
that's how it's got to be everywhere, Jenny. That's how it's got to be anywhere.
I
Like
mean, I'm just telling you. But
He's proving his worth right now.
I'm not saying we're not diminishing his worth
Okay.
at all. We're playing on terminology. Superstar versus a star. We know he's a star. He's shining. He goes and he balls out wherever he goes, but he's
Here's
not
why.
a superstar.
I'm not saying you don't make sense, but here's why Jimmy Butler is a superstar, in my opinion, because he was able to take
Let's
this.
keep that confined to your opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion,
Mhm.
here's why he was able to take this team not once, twice. He was the only superstar. He was a sharp knife, but he went to a gunfight. No chance. No chance in the finals. But he took down the Boston Celtics, took down the Milwaukee Bucks by his damn self. Just with a couple of role-playing guys. You're not going to win a championship that way. You need another one. Golden State right now. Steph Curry.
Okay, he's got the other half. So Golden State, they not going to win. They're not going to win either. Like y'all crowned the Lakers early. Y'all crowned the Lakers early after a couple of good games when they got Luka. Y'all too was crowning them. And look where the Lakers at now.
It ain't over. It ain't over.
It ain't over, but I'm telling you what's
We decided it.
I like the Lakers for next year.
He already done jumped ship on you.
No, I didn't jump ship. I said when that deal happened, I said I love the long term for the Lakers,
Now,
short
y'all
term
both-
for Dallas.
y'all both were like, "Oh
But
yeah,
no,
I can
no.
see it. I can
I
see
He
it."
was
said he said in 5, but
Playoffs.
yeah, I said it's possible they could make the Western Conference Finals. It's possible. But I kept saying Oklahoma City, Jenny. I have been on Oklahoma City and I haven't got off.
Oklahoma City and Cleveland,
And
because
you're
like
right.
I said, they both of their teams have been consistent.
Yes, in Boston. Those
Consistent
3.
through the
Those 3
whole
teams.
season. I mean, it was like they just snuck up on us and
Those
smacked
3
you
teams.
in the face, and you weren't ready.
Those 3 teams. Remember, they just played the first round. Only 1 loss between those 3.
yeah.
Right?
We're
Yeah,
gonna
Oklahoma,
we're gonna hit a
everybody
quick
else was kind of
guys.
doing this.
We're gonna hit a quick break.
Okay.
All right, here on the Jeff Fox Show, and when we come back, I will tell you why Miami has to do any and everything, and I want suggestions as to what it is that we must do to get Giannis to leave Milwaukee and come here. But clearly, we don't have the assets. We don't have it. So we have to find creative ways to get Giannis to get out of Milwaukee and come here, because the Miami Heat are at a crossroads right now. We cannot come back with the same team. This is a summer league team. This is a G League team that we have. And it was embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing what happened out there on the court the other night. So maybe what transpired in Milwaukee last night will give us some hope. But we'll see. We'll talk about it when we come back right here on the Jeff Fox Show. Jenny Jones and Fitz Davis. We'll be right back.
Where do Riley and the Heat go from here?
The change has to start with Pat Riley. It's time. It's time. You have never heard anyone say that about the great Pat Riley, who I revere. I know this man. I got a lot of love for this man. I appreciate what he has done for the game of basketball. I don't have any doubt that he knows what he's doing when it comes to basketball in terms of what the team needs, the coach it has, etc. The reason I'm bringing up that there has to be a change in Miami is because you have to get people to want to come to Miami. And he's not that guy anymore. Not that guy. He knows what he's doing. He's not gone. But he can't get the right people to Miami. I think what I'm trying to say is that Eric Spoelstra needs to be the president of basketball operations for the Miami Heat.
They tie it up with only seconds left. Quick inbound across half court. This is to win. It's up. It's good.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. Go shorty, it's your birthday. Go shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. You'll find me in the club, bottle full of bug. Mama, I got what you need if you need to fill a buzz. I'm in the habit of sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug if you're into getting rough. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bug. Mama, I got what you need if you need to fill a buzz. I'm in the habit of sex, I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug if you're into getting rough. Go shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip a party like it's your birthday.
Just what happened kind of out on the floor after the game?
Nothing. And this is the last time I'm going to say. I won't talk a lot. We lost the game. It doesn't really matter. One thing I'll say is that I believe like being humble in victory. That's how I am. Now there can be a lot of people out there that are like, no, when you win the game, talk shit, and it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards somebody else. I disagree. I've won the championship. They haven't. Okay, and that doesn't say anything. I'm not trying to minimize their effort, but I remember when I won, my mom that she's never missed the games from February 11th or 13th when she came in Milwaukee against the Knicks. She never missed a game. When we won the championship, I remember my mom, she was scared to cross. She was like, am I allowed to come and hug my son? I see, except now my brother does media. For this year, he wants to come back and play. But like, except in that, you've never seen my family like see courtside. See, this is not something that we do. We don't. I try to keep my family away from the game. But losing the game, emotions run high. Having a fan, which at the moment I thought he was a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese's son, which I love. Tyrese, I think he's a great competitor. He was his dad, sorry. Coming in the floor and showing me his son a towel with his face. This is what we do. This is what we effing do. This the F we do. This. I feel like that's very, very disrespectful. My dad, if you guys go and ask and learn, my dad's not with us no more. My dad used to come in the family room and was the most respectful person ever. When you come from nothing and you've worked.
Yeah. That was some bullshit last night that Tyrese Halliburton's father did. And he should be banished from the playoffs for the rest of the playoffs. And then they should reconsider whether he can attend the game next season. He should be banished right now. I think Adam Silver needs to make a decision, stand up, because you don't do that. That was classless. Tyrese Halliburton apologized after the game. It was a miracle comeback win for the Pacers, first of all. But I don't care how the game ended. You don't do what that man did in Giannis' face last night. It was a difficult loss for the Bucks. And he went right. And I give Giannis a lot of credit, man. He just stood there and looked at him like, I can't believe this fool. And to have this man run on the court, and mock an opposing player, it was disgraceful. It was embarrassing. And now the question is today around the league, was that the last game for Giannis in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform? Your thoughts?
The rumors have been circulating though for a while, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
They and somehow our name always ends up in those conversations about somebody coming here. So, but the rumors have been for a while, and he's got a championship there, and maybe now's as good a time as any to maybe make a change, because sometimes you have to shake things up a little bit. He's got a championship there, and doesn't look like they're finna get another one anytime soon. And yeah, maybe it's just time for a change.
Jeff, if I may, regarding what happened with Giannis after the game, I fault the Pacers and their security, and just like I see the teams when people storm the field, this is on the organization.
Yeah.
If they have a zero tolerance for non-athletes being on the floor, it will happen. But the Pacers and other teams, and you watching in the leagues, they let those people storm the court and do that. And they've been putting athletes in harm's way. And we've been watching this is going to get close where somebody's going to clock one of these fans, because you don't know if they're trying to do something to you. They got something might want to hurt you, and you just don't know. And so that scenario that happened last night, that's on the Pacers, and it's on their security. And then it's awesome that Giannis showed enough class and dignity with an ignorant fan not to knock him out.
Yep.
So
And
yeah. So then now I want to segue to that other piece. I think what we saw last night was Giannis saying goodbye
Mm.
to Milwaukee. You said he's done everything there. Miami, no shot to get him. No assets.
Well,
No. I'm gonna give you the team that I can see him with. Has the assets. I'm watching the young Houston team. That kid Alperin, that young guy, the 6'10" guy, and one or two other pieces. Giannis could go out there with Jalen Green, a couple other guys. They would be a force. And if I was Milwaukee, I would do that deal. Houston's got some good young guys. Both teams could come back from this. But Miami, nah, man.
But
After that performance you saw, I'm sorry, I'm giving it back to you. But after that performance, losing by 55, you have to ask yourself, if you're Milwaukee, let's just say you want to take on Bam and you want to bring on Tyler Hero. How do you sell that to the fan base?
I mean, well, but you've also seen where some players are saying, well, they're saying where they want to go.
I get it.
And then you figure it out how to make it happen. But I'm saying this is where I want to go. I mean, because Dame Lillard was on his way. And then we got a little knife in the back, and and then he ended up where he ended up. But there was players that, like I said, that were saying, this is where I want to, this is where I want to be. And I disagree a little bit with you guys, and even Stephen A. to saying that Miami is not still a destination right now. Yes, we got some construction to do, but as far as the tax situation, as far as Miami and the city itself, Spo is an asset. So like I said, we're not devoid of anything, and there's still some players that would like to come here. I mean, like I said, we've got some work to do. Nobody's denying that we've got some work to do, but there's still some positives. There's still some positives on our side. And like I said, Dame Lillard, like I said, had wanted to come here. And granted, we had Jimmy. But I'm just still saying.
You said we had Jimmy.
But I did still say, even without Jimmy, there's the tax situation. That's huge. Dollars in your pocket. Tax situation, the weather here, nightlife here, the beaches, and like I said, Coach Spo is an all-time. He's already legendary, and he's what, 40 something? He's still young. Coach Spo he's that guy.
Jeff, can I say this to Jenny? I'm gonna give it back to you, Jenny. But when you said Dame wanted to go to Miami, is a lot of it because he wanted to play with Jimmy Butler too. And where I'm gonna give it back to Jeff is this: a superstar wants to play with somebody who's really good, a second fiddle that can play. And right now, a superstar is going to look at Miami right now. I'm like, you're going to be on your own. You go to Miami right now.
Can I say this too? Before, like I said, still not saying Jimmy's a superstar, but one of the things that was enticing for Jimmy when he came here was that he was going to get to be the lead dog. That was one of the things. So like, this is going to be my team. I get a chance to put my stamp on this team. Now, of course, with the hopes that you're going to get me some other players, but when he came here, it wasn't like we had a team that was ready-made to go somewhere before he got here. That was the expectation was, I'm going to come here. Yes, I get to reinvent myself. I'm going to be the lead dog. They're going to build around me. Now, like I said, the other half of that did not happen, but that was why he came here. So that's why I'm saying everybody has there are different reasons for wanting to be someplace, and sometimes it may not always be about the money. You know, there's different levels of things because they all pretty much have more than enough money than they're going to ever need.
Mhm.
So, what is my other motivation?
Mhm.
And I gave you a few. So
I get
that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that somebody, oh yeah, Miami's got this going on. If I come there, I know I can get that another chip. Yes,
Mhm.
they can't look at us and say that right now. They can't look at us and say that right now. But I'm saying there's just different levels of motivation on why you would want to come here. And we've got three good ones.
Mhm.
I
Well,
mean,
I was
maybe four, just because the organization as a whole has always been top tier.
Mhm.
The Miami Heat organization has been top tier. And when you're looking for a family, Miami Heat is that organization family.
Mhm.
You're looking for the coach. Miami Heat has the top coach. When you're looking at, I'd rather be in Miami versus Cleveland. That's number three. When you look at the state taxes, that keeps more of your money in your pocket. So, like I said, we've got some good things to build on. We need the players. We just need to fix it and get the players.
Jenny, you make some excellent points, but I have to disagree with you. When Jimmy was with Philadelphia and he made the move to Miami, the Miami organization 4 years ago did not look anything like it looks now. It is in shambles. When he was getting ready to come here, with the things they were stable. The upper management looked really good. The coaching looked good. The players played hard. Bam looked like a comer that he was going to be he's going to ascend to that level. I can see why Jimmy Butler looked at Miami 4 or 5 years ago. But right now, Jenny, with the Heat that you're talking about was the Heat, I would say 60 months ago. What we're witnessing right now, what Jeff is talking about, we're seeing a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
And
but
I just can't see a smart
you
player.
guys say the same things of what I'm saying. You just say it differently. I
No,
said we're not
no,
team
you
wise. Team
said that
wise,
we
yeah, we
just
don't.
need to do this, and I'm like, no,
No,
there is some really construction needs to happen right now. This thing is bad.
No, I basically said the same thing. I said right now, if you look at us, we are not there. If you're looking at us as a team, thinking you're going to come here and plug yourself in as a superstar, plug yourself in, and you're going to get a ring. We're not that. I'm saying that there's still some desirable things here in Miami, and I said also that there is other motivations. We got the other motivations on lock. You know, like I said, the four things that I gave you, we got the other motivation on lock. Now, when you come here and you want to be competitive, nobody wants to come here to lose. Nobody wants to come here to lose.
It's over.
But I'm just saying,
It's over.
I think we're saying different things, though, Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny, I see a structural. I hear you about the weather and its taxes, but what I'm seeing, Jenny,
Beaches and
is bad. This is
I know it's bad. We've seen how bad it is. We've seen it. So
I've never seen it this bad with them.
let's see.
Jeff said it since they were an expansion team.
Yeah. And that's rock bottom, man. That's rock bottom. Now, we don't have the assets to get Giannis. What we need to do is to convince Giannis that you can have all of this. Just like the devil did in the Bible when he tempted the Lord, Jesus, and he tempted him and said, you can have all of this if you just run after, come and follow me. All this can be yours.
It's I'm afraid for the man up in the upper left-hand corner.
Because no. Here's why. We got to find a way to convince Giannis to come here and save the Miami Heat. You can be that guy to come here, just like Giannis saved basketball in Milwaukee, because the Bucks were going to lose their team. but Giannis came there as a rookie and eventually revitalized the whole city and eventually gave them a championship. We need Giannis to come here to Miami, South Florida. Jenny, all those things that you pointed out, we need him to come here and save us. And the only way we get it done, the only way we turn this franchise around is number one, for Pat Riley to go into retirement. Eric Spoelstra maybe, perhaps, move into the front office, get us a young coach like an Udoka or Bickerstaff in Detroit or somebody of that ilk. And if Giannis is here and he's your only piece, you know the NBA like I know the NBA. Other superstars, other great players will come here. They will come here. These players talk to each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
but
talk
and
to each other.
that's the thing, though. You know,
So,
you come,
that scenario,
and you put out some demands and say, XYZ, I need this, and I'll come, because like I said, sometimes when you've won, you have all the money, there's other motivations, and you start looking that I can't play this game forever, and what do I want to do? You know, what do I want to do? What did I want my legacy to be? Or, you know, just different things in life. There's like, especially as you get older, your priorities change. Yes, you still are in the game, and yes, you still want to play. I'm just saying, as a side note, there's some other factors to look into. There's other things that you look at and you look for.
Giannis is 30 years old. He's
Mhm.
30 years old.
30 years old.
I'm not talking about him in specific. I'm just talking generalities.
I get it, Jenny. I get it. I'm not dismissing what you're saying. All I'm telling you is there are ways, creative ways, that a front office can facilitate a move like this. This would be a blockbuster deal. Find a way to get it done. Involve 2 or 3 other teams. There are ways, make the money work. You know, there are ways to do these things. Bam does have value.
Yeah.
Bam has value. Tyler Hero has value. Wiggins, believe it or not, has value. Trade everybody. Trade everybody. Get rid of the Duncan Robinson contract. Trade his ass too. Trade Spoelstra if you have to. But do whatever you have to do to get Giannis here in Miami and make it work where you can attract other superstars or you know, certain role players to come here and rebuild, because that's where we are right now. We
We are rebuilding, but I think you're going too far again with trade Eric Spoelstra.
I'm just saying nobody's untouchable in the Miami Heat organization right now. Nobody's untouchable. Nobody. None of the players. I did suggest Spoke, because Spoke can get you a lot of stuff. He can get you some value. You talked about that, right? You need some kind of value. I wouldn't, you know, maybe I should have mentioned him specifically because he's an executive or a head coach. But certainly you trade everybody.
Yeah.
And you try to get some right pieces around Giannis. And you let him, because whether you guys want to admit it or not, or the so-called prognosticators want to admit it or not, the NBA is a players' league.
Yes, it is.
They dictate how things go in the NBA, unlike the NFL, who's shown us time and time again, it's a good old boys network. Right. They run the shit.
Yeah.
In the NBA, the players call the shots. Giannis does not have the ego of a lot of superstars in this league. He's very humble. But maybe if I'm the Miami Heat, I'm putting my focus 100% on trying to get Giannis to come to South Florida.
Jeff Fox, timing's everything. And you just called it. Damian Lillard is looking at missing the entire season next year. Giannis has 2 more years left before he can opt out. So he's already thinking, like you're saying, Jeff, next year is going to be a wash.
Yep.
So the right team that's really creative, that has like you said, the pieces like Jenny talked about, the things that can attract them. I'm with you, Jeff. I put all chips in if I'm the Heat to get Giannis. I'd have everybody up on the block except I don't know who's the one guy who is anybody on the unprotected list?
Nobody's protected.
I would go all in for him, and then you make the deal. So now you got 2 years to try to show Giannis that we can get this right. But I think the general manager is important, and that's why I think you're hitting on it, Jeff. When you go back earlier, Spoelstra's got to be the one I think to do this, so Giannis will know that he's up under Spoelstra, and maybe Spoelstra wears both hats for the first couple of years. He's coach and GM.
No,
I
that's
think
not
he probably did that a little bit, didn't he?
Maybe he does that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think Giannis would be that might tempt me if I was Giannis to know I was going to play for Eric Spoelstra, right? And they're also looking at getting some more pieces.
he has a culture that's at times, I think, like right now, I wouldn't even bring it up, but still, there are certain type of guys that can fit here, that can work in Miami. You added Giannis, you got to find those guys. The Milwaukee Bucks, if Giannis went to them right now and said, listen, I've given you guys all I can give you, they owe him at least. They owe him to the point where, listen, wherever you want to go, we will make it happen. Even if that involves taking less
Yeah, Jeff,
from
he's
an
got him.
organization like Miami. The right thing for them to do, the honorable thing for them to do, is to oblige Giannis. So if
I'm
he wants
LA,
to come here, make
yeah.
it happen.
Somebody's going to make a run at Giannis. He is there for the taking, especially with Dame Lillard out. He is there for the taking. Guys, he's in his prime of his career, right, Jenny? 30. He's going to be 31 next Christmas time. He's basically will lose a year, Jeff. Some team, some smart team. I think Houston, I'd make a run at him. But if I'm Miami, you got to put all the chips in. And I'll say this too, Jeff, and I'm gonna give it back to you. I think they need to retire that heat culture tag stuff. I think after what we saw last night, just retire the heat culture. Let's start over with something.
That's really harsh.
No, retire that.
I almost want to agree with you.
Them
I think
ass whoopings we saw the last 2 days. No, man. The heat culture. How they do in Rome? I don't know. Dominus.
Yeah.
That's done.
That was an epic beatdown. But you know what that reminded me of? Remember
What?
when the Miami Dolphins, at the end of Dan Marino's career, lost a playoff game to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the score was 65-7. Dan Marino's last game, 65-7 in Jacksonville.
He never
That
won a
was
chip.
Very, very low point.
I get it. He had never won a chip though. And
Yeah, but still, that was the great Dan Marino.
That was
Dan
great.
Marino is on that Mount Rushmore.
yeah, he's for South Florida.
He's on that Mount. That was a low point in the history of South Florida professional sports.
Today,
These last 2 games for the Miami Heat has moved them onto that infamous category of most embarrassing and humiliating moments in South Florida sports. That might have eclipsed 65-7. I don't know. But
hey Jenny, April 30th, 2025, 12:05 p.m. Fitzgerald Davis says, retire heat culture.
I don't think you do that.
Yeah, maybe reimagine it a little bit, because part of heat culture is the conditioning and different things that we expect from the players. So, I mean, there's other things that go into it too. But like I said, maybe it could be re-envisioned just
How
a
about-
little bit. But I'm not going to say get rid of it.
Let's put heat culture with MySpace. Let's put it with MySpace and
Heat culture is part of our identity. It's part of it's our identity.
let it go.
No,
Let it go.
No, we can't.
Let it go.
We can't.
I mean, that's like you saying the you and the culture of the you. Let it go. And we had a lot of losing seasons and you. So
Hey.
oh,
Hey.
did I strike a nerve?
You better watch the lightning coming by Bayside.
I think you did.
You talk about him. You better watch the lightning strikes coming on your way. I
I'm
hope
not
you're
in.
grounded. I hope you got some tennis shoes on and you on some rubber.
I got the soles on. I got
Okay,
it.
now.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Don't
Waking up the echoes here. Hey,
don't come for me if you don't want none.
we were talking about the heat. And you brought the
Yeah.
you into this.
But when we start talking about the youth, somebody got a little sensitive.
Yeah, got the #1 draft pick. I didn't want to. Hey, we relevant.
Now,
Yeah.
now we weren't so just a few years ago. Just
Sound
saying.
like Bayside selling some haterade over there.
No, I'm just checking you. I'm checking you, boo. I'm just checking you.
When we come back from the quick break, we will talk about the latest involving Shedeur Sanders and the outrage that's out there still, and what people are saying in that regard. We'll be right back. What up, everybody? This is Jeff Fox from the Jeff Fox Show. I want to invite you to a real Bahamian party, a great place that you can get the island food that I'm talking about as fish fry right here in beautiful Miami. Come to the backyard. Yeah, that's right. It's east of Miami, the backyard, where you can get that real fried fish, fried conch, grilled conch, any kind of way you want it, they will do it for you. Lobster, fish, chicken in the bag, shrimp, all kinds of great island eats right here in Miami Gardens and east of Miami. It's the Bahamian thing. Niceness. Pull up on East of Miami. Check out TJ and Cindy at East of Miami for the best Bahamian food. Best fish, the best chicken, the best conch, the best stewed fish. All right, they've got it all. Island food, 18014 Northwest 6th Place in Miami Gardens. I'm talking about the real deal, not the fake stuff. This is real Bahamians making real Bahamian food. In the backyard, come on and check out the vibes. East of Miami, 18014 Northwest 6th Place in Miami Gardens. Tell my man TJ Jeff Fox sent you. You heard it first right here on the Jeff Fox Show. It's the backyard, east of Miami.
The NFL draft. Y'all did the Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur Sanders, is some dirty ass shit. You good old boy owning ass motherfuckers, Jay-Z included. You too. You should have pulled some strings in the back and got that pick in the first goddamn round. He's top 5 in the whole motherfucking college league, and this motherfucker gonna go 144th to Cleveland. Cleveland already got 4, so now they got 5 quarterbacks. It don't make no fucking sense. What, are you gonna come off the bench or some shit? And I think Cleveland made a smart move by picking him, because now they can trade him for some more picks to next year's draft. So I think that's the move Cleveland making. But yeah, y'all full of shit. All you motherfuckers, y'all full of shit. I know what you're doing. You're trying to teach his daddy Deion Sanders a lesson, because he turned that whole Colorado motherfucking college program around by himself. And y'all mad because the top prospects coming out of high school want to play for Deion, not the good old boy white coaches and shit at Ohio, Nebraska, and Texas, and A&M and all that shit. So that's what y'all doing. Y'all trying to smack him up. Y'all ain't shit.
As Protective Shield goes, stuff like this is what matters. I am actually quite disappointed that there hasn't been some sort of disciplinary situation for the individual who left the information out. It doesn't have to be a firing. I don't think it's that serious, but there has to be a consequence for doing something like this wrong, even if it was your son who did it. That's what I understood Protective Shield to be. In this case, to not have any corrective course is very, very surprising.
Yep, somebody got to pay. How did Shedeur's number get out there? And an NFL coach, his son is the one with the number who prank called Shedeur Sanders. They rubbed his face in the mud, and nobody's being held accountable. Not only that, people are still talking. Michael Strahan had something to say the other day. Everybody's talking about it. The people in the church, Just everybody's still talking about Shedeur Sanders, and it's gonna be the topic. It's gonna be in the news for a while.
It is. I was talking with my girlfriend, and she's not even a football fan. And of course, she's on the other side. But I was like, look, you say you didn't pick him because of the arrogance and the circus coming to town. Okay, whether you picked him number 1 or you picked him number 5, he still got the same confidence. The circus gonna still be in town. So what are you saying? The NFL need to be investigating themselves for the obvious collusion that we know that went on, because when they want a player, they make moves to get said player because they're worried he's going to be off the board. Nobody was worried that Shedeur was going to be off the board because it was already arranged that he going to be there.
Yep.
Don't pick him in. You don't pick him in number 1. Don't pick him in number 2. Don't take him in number 3. Don't take him in number 4. Number 5. Okay, you can pick him. If he's still there for you and somebody hasn't picked him in front of you, he'll be there for you. That's what was going on. So say something about investigating that. We know it happened. It happened. He just can't sue unless he'll be out in the same predicament as Colin Kaepernick, banned for life from the game, and he's not set one foot on the field. But we know that's what happened. Because like I said, you don't just sit there and let Shedeur Sanders sit and hope that he's gonna be waiting for you in no 5th round. Come on.
Well, they knew something. Somebody knew something.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Nino Brown in New Jack City. Somebody knows something.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody knows something.
I've been watching some different things on YouTube with some former players talking about he had it coming. He messed up, and there's a lot of things how to chop this up.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have to go back and stay with what I think too. They want to teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
And because I'm not going to go to this thing about, well, he threw a lot of his passes behind the line of scrimmage and he didn't have that big of arm and he wasn't Eli Manning. But our guest a couple shows ago just said when Baker Mayfield went number 1, he didn't have no big arm. He didn't throw the ball he's short. He was at Oklahoma. He threw a lot of yards too, but no one ever said Baker Mayfield had a great arm, great athlete, but he went 1. And he had red flags too. He had been drunk, got arrested, right? That's what Jordan said. And Jordan's right on that. So you start asking yourself, maybe Shedeur did some things with the jury and everything. But Jeff, what makes me go to what Jenny says too, and even some of the stuff about the piece about collusion is when his phone number, that's the piece that sticks with me. That's the craw. Why would you just do a prank call on him? I can't think of any other opportunity, other time. Can you all, when another player, high profile type, possible draft pick, NBA, NFL, got a prank call?
Yeah, they
was being drafted.
They wanted to kick him while he was down.
So it makes you think, like Jenny said, maybe there was some talking going on or something, or some wink, wink. And again, I'm not holding. Yeah, he could have done some things better, maybe throwing for them, whatever. But Jenny, to your point, when they do that kind of stuff, Jeff, prank calls, and you see other people have been drafted number 1, like Jordan said, who had questionable stuff too. Baker Mayfield, I'm just going to say the name, Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
His measurables are about the same as Shedeur. He went number 1.
Yep. So
and he's done pretty well. Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to do well in Cleveland if he does stay there.
If a team gives him a shot.
Yeah.
So much is about a team gives him a chance. If they give him a chance. But if they don't give him a chance, he'll be doing what I'm doing. He'll be sitting on the sideline. They have to give you a chance.
The kid's a winner. like you pointed out some stats on him the other day. I get it, that's college,
Mhm.
but you either have it or you don't. I think Shador has it. He's got it, and that's going to translate into W's for somebody. I know the Browns have him right now. They didn't look very happy when they picked him. If you looked at the faces of their execs when they drafted him, they didn't look enthused about it. I think the owner wanted them to pick Shador. The coaches and the GMs might have had different ideas, but they didn't look happy. But they probably will end up being very pleased if they stick with this guy.
But you look at Cleveland, he's probably thinking with his pocket as well. Cleveland is not a destination spot.
Not really.
No,
His dad.
Cleveland is not a destination spot. I mean, even in the NBA, necessarily when LeBron was in Cleveland, nobody wants to be in Cleveland. It's no nightlife. You know what I'm saying? It's no nightlife. It's not a draw, a place that you want to be. It's not a place that you want to be.
This
Yeah.
is you.
What?
What's that, Jeff?
I was saying I was doing the LeBron Cleveland. This is for you.
Oh,
'Cause I can certainly see Shador turning into something major. Amazing. I think he's going to be a big star, Jenny. They tried to block it.
They're trying to block him. They're trying to block him.
Yeah, they don't control that. Shador controls that.
and the shadow of his father, we have to all agree that the shadow is over him of Dion. That's over him. And he did go on a show a few months back saying he thought Cleveland was a bad place and he did not want his son getting drafted by Cleveland. I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa. Cleveland might draft him and just let him throw a lot in the preseason and cut him.
Yeah.
Let him use up his arm in the practice and then just cut him. They could easily do it because they won't be tying a lot of money up into him. And
Shador is going to succeed. I just believe in the kid. I believe in him.
but I'm not sure it'll be at Cleveland though.
Yeah, that's to be seen. I think that's to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got Joe Flacco there, Dylan Gabriel. Who else is in that quarterback group? Like a few people.
Oh, they're bringing back Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Deshaun Watson got all the money
All
and
the money.
did nothing.
Hey, don't be mad at him because he got a good agent.
Oh, I ain't mad at him. I'm just saying he got all the money and
That guy
did
got a great agent. He's got a
nothing.
great agent.
I mean, what was it, like 245 guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
And look at the baggage that he came with. What, like 24 lawsuits worth of baggage, and they still gave him the bag. So
Jeff,
that's what I'm saying. They pick and choose. They pick and choose when they want to hold your background against you. They pick and choose. We know that. So when they come out with all of this discussion, oh, he's this, he's too arrogant, he's this, and he's going to bring the circus. Well, the circus was already in town, and it's called what?
Deshaun Watson.
Name? Come on.
Jenny,
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help you. Like I'm trying to throw you the ball, and you're supposed to catch it. And Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
That circus is already in town.
Already in town.
Don't tell me about the circus.
It ain't
It's in
Shador.
town. It came with him when he came. You paid him $245 million.
Guaranteed.
Present that circus, and then you didn't even get no show.
Mhm.
You
And
didn't
Jeff,
even get no show.
Deshaun came in a red jacket, red shirt, a red hat. He might have dyed his hair red, and he had some red flags. And Cleveland said, "Come on,
Like, what? Come on.
Welcome to the family.
he wearing red, he had red flags.
That's why I said
in a red car. Come on,
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with you.
I haven't seen.
bottom of his feet is red, and he ain't Jimmy
Red
Choo.
tennis shoes. Come on.
Ain't Jimmy Choo. Bottom.
Everybody has something to say about this Shador thing. Everybody. And people are emotional about it.
Yes, we are.
Very,
I'm done.
very emotional.
I'm
I
done.
mean, former players getting involved. Michael Irvin, Michael Strahan, who did I show you? The comedian Eddie Griffin, Donald Trump having something to say about it, the president of the United States. I mean,
but Nick Saban even said that whoever said what they anonymous said was wrong for that, because he deals with these young men. And like I said, you look at him as an adult, which age-wise, yes, he is, but he's still a young man. He's still growing, and you just didn't care what you did to this young man. That's one of my big pet peeves at what they did, because he's still a young man, and a lot of it you were aiming it at the dad. You were aiming it at the dad, and you took it out on him.
Yeah, I do believe yesterday was Shador's birthday. I do believe yesterday, and as he gets his feet wet in this thing, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But former players are telling us a lot. Let's listen to Adam Pac-Man Jones, who's been through some stuff in his career in the NFL.
I don't understand how Shador went all the way to the 5th round and by the worst team. I know what everybody else want to say, saying the politically correct thing, fuck that. I don't think he should be here. And I really do think the president has something to do with this in a good way. Like, hey, yo, tweet about it, boom. Obviously, he get picked 5 minutes later from the worst motherfucking team that could have picked him. And the coach, I don't know if y'all seen the interview of the fucking coach. This fucking guy has the GM, sorry. This fucking guy have no coof about nothing that he is fucking saying. Andrew Berry, shove it up your ass. One of the worst interviews I've ever seen a GM do about a player that they are drafting. He's saying shit that we already know. Why are you guys, we expect him to come in and work hard, nothing's given to you. Ain't nothing gave to no fucking body. He's a fucking 5th round pick. You got 5 motherfucking quarterbacks. Bro, this shit got me hot, bro. If I'm his fucking agent, we're trying to figure out if we can go anywhere besides here. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Dang.
That was a lot of. That was a lot.
That's too much, Jeff. I appreciate you, and you are amazing. But I'm going to ask us on this. Let us be the first to turn the page on this and move on to Cam Ward. And I'm going to tell you why, Jenny, why we're going to be the first to move on. The Cam Ward story
is more,
and let me tell you why it's better than Shedeur Sanders. It shows long-term thinking, not thinking in the short term. And this is for a lot of young brothers out there playing. How one more year in school can improve your status. Draft things, you can work on things and get better. He could have gone out last year, got drafted, probably where Shedeur just got drafted, because they gave him the grade. But by not being greedy, he said, you know what? I'm going to work on some of the things they said I should work on. He goes back to Miami, Jenny, right?
Yeah.
Works on his game. Goes from being a 4th, 5th round pick to number 1. And the lesson to this, to a lot of these young guys who are leaving what I call money on the table, eligibility on the table, you have NIL to take care of mama and big mama.
That's true.
Use the NIL money, work on your skill set. One more year. Don't leave that year there. You can improve your draft status. And we know each round you go up is millions of dollars.
Millions.
And on top of it, you may be able to how about this, slap a piece of paper on the back of your name, graduating from Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, or Miami. Now you got that. And then you can actually use that year. You know what? I'm getting ready to get a 7-figure salary. Maybe I can take a couple little classes here on how to manage my money when I do go in next year. Because they already got a 4th round grade. It probably won't drop. I can improve my status. So when I get that money, how I can make it work for me. Cam Ward should be the thing we're focusing on, how to go long game. Let us be the group, the 3 of us. Let's move on.
I'm not opposed to that. Not opposed to it. I think what makes what's captivated America, what's made Shador interesting, comes from success.
Well, but not the rags to riches story. He already had the riches.
Thank you. It was from riches to riches, but still, he worked hard.
Yeah,
just like Cam Ward did. Shador worked hard. Is it his fault that he has a dad that wants the best for him? No. Is that his fault? That his dad is one of the all-time greatest players of all time, who told you what he was going to do and then he went out and did it? Is it his fault that he was cocky and confident? You know, and then they threw in some other colorful words like arrogant, dismissive, full of himself. It's not his fault.
Nope. But my pushback is this. More athletes are on the side of Cam Ward. More young black athletes, more or less, are in his side as opposed to Shador. Shador was already a wealthy kid growing up. Cam Ward is coming from very humble, being a zero star, you know, and didn't have the name brand behind him.
But as the media, we like those stories.
Oh, yeah.
We like to see the black and the brown come from down here, and we love telling those stories.
Yep.
We dig all off in it. We love telling those stories, but Shador's story, we're not trying to tell that or celebrate that. You know that. You know.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not taking anything from Shador. No, I'm not. But what I'm saying is, as we watch both of these stories, I think we all agree Shador gonna be good.
Oh, he's gonna be good.
He's gonna be good. But we've just watched a young man make a long-term decision, same age as Shador, came back, worked on his skill set, and look what it got him. And I'm like, I think maybe we ought to focus a little more on that, because we got a lot of athletes, and I think the three of us could probably name you tons of these kids we saw left early. They never get drafted, and we watch them, and they don't have a degree, no draft status. They could have stayed in school.
Here's what I think Jenny's getting across to you. The conventional media is comfortable telling stories like Cam Ward's story. They're not comfortable telling us
our people, especially our people.
They're not comfortable talking about black success. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. They don't like the fact that you're good, you're already rich, and they don't want you controlling anything. They don't want Deion Sanders having any influence on where Shador goes or how he does. There's a rumor that just came out earlier today that other coaches were afraid of drafting Shador. Now, this sounds really crazy, but they were afraid of drafting Shador because they were afraid of being probably replaced down the road by guess who?
By his dad.
Exactly. You know, that's crazy.
But it's real.
I don't think so. Deion's good in Colorado, man.
Yeah.
At some points, you know, just like birds in the bird's nest, you gotta let the chicks fly. And I think it's time for Deion to let his boys fly.
I agree.
Yeah, let them establish more of their own identity outside of him. Because now you're in the NFL, you got to ball out.
You're the grown man.
It's about you. You got to ball out now.
Yep.
Great, excellent point, Jenny. I get it. I'm 100% in with that too. And I guess I wasn't trying to just say that he's a non-story, but what I'm saying is that we have another great story too. Maybe we can do them both.
Yeah,
and we should do more. It's just that we saw it wrong.
Yeah,
we saw it wrong visited upon Shador, and we saw it wrong, and we got to talk about it. We want to talk about it, and Cam Ward, couldn't be happier for him. He's from the U. You know, we get to celebrate that, and I hate as well that the wrong visited upon Shador is overshadowing, his number one draft, his number one draft status, because that's his day. That's something that you get to take with you forever. When we look back at 2025 and Cam Ward, what draft selection were you? Number one, baby.
Yep.
Number one. That's in the books now for him. That's in the books for him, and he can always hang his hat on that and be proud of that.
Okay.
What do you guys make of moving on to the president of the United States? He somehow infiltrates his way into every conversation and every facet of the media. But the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champions, just visited the White House, and Eagles running back Saquon Barkley, who Jenny loves, and there's no slight against you for saying that, because we all love Saquon, but he went golfing with the president, and he's getting a lot of backlash from people who feel like he's disconnected from his quote-unquote blackness. Do you guys think Saquon was wrong for pointing out that he went golfing with Trump, but he also went golfing with President Obama? Do you think that he's wrong for saying that, he wanted to go golfing with the president, as if he's not controversial in the black community right now? And to the point that a whole lot of Philadelphia Eagles did not go to the White House.
Yeah.
Stood on business and stayed away. Your thoughts on that?
I'll say this, Jenny. I'll take this. Saquon is entitled to his opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't I'm just gonna piggyback on Fitz. Because I can't, yeah.
It is exhausting, isn't it, guy? Isn't it exhausting? But I do respect the fact that several players from the championship Eagles team decided to stay away. I respect that. I'll be honest, I can't respect the ones that did go. I can't respect it. I can't.
Yeah, they are entitled to
I
their
know they are.
schedule.
I know they are, but I respect the ones who stayed away more, and here's why.
The scheduling conflict that Jalen Hurts had was integrity. The scheduling conflict was not standing with hate. The scheduling conflict was having morals. That's what it was. That's what it was. It's the NFL offseason. Best believe. Hey, if bro wanted to be there, he would be there. It's a deliberate choice to say, I have a backbone, I have a spine, and I'm not about to take some photo op with a guy that doesn't align with my values. And I love it. That's my quarterback. That's my QB1. Because if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. If you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything.
Yeah, it's his choice, all right. Saquon I'm talking about. But
Yep. Hey, there were some scheduling conflicts when Obama was in office.
yeah.
Hey, scheduling happens. I gotta take my kid to school. I gotta cook some white bean chicken chili. I can't leave the store.
Breakfast. I gotta eat breakfast.
It's just it's scheduling.
I gotta hang now.
How did that become? I remember old Miami team went to see. I remember back in the 80s they went to see the president. But why is that? I'm just curious. Even why is that such a big thing for sports that you have to go to the White House, regardless who's president? What's the? You're not champion of the world,
Right.
because you don't play the world.
I think it just kind of became a thing, and I wouldn't mind visiting the White House.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind either.
Some years ago, I would, and I still wouldn't mind, see it. It's because it's almost like a power trip, or you get in that realm because the White House.
You said power trip. Is that just a power trip for the teams? They're just tripping?
Well, what I'm saying is more of a hobnobbing, get in the realms of, I can't really say how it is, but it's a matter of just like the regular people. I mean, like the everyday folks, you want to be around the president. You want to be around the White House because that's where the power is. You know what I'm saying? You kind of somewhat want to be around it. I can't really explain it, but it's just, yeah.
I've got another one for you guys.
Does the golf team go, Jenny, when they win a national championship? Did the golf team get a photo op?
Why are you trying to put that on me? I ain't saying that we should go.
Hey, Jeff, does a volleyball team, do they get a photo op?
Some of them might. Some of them might.
Okay.
You never know. I also want to ask you guys about a very controversial topic that's been going around, and that's getting back to your boy Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Great Warren Moon, whose number is retired by the Titans, allowed Cam Ward to wear his number 1 in his first pro season with the Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all liked it. We played the clip and showed him bringing out the jersey and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
However, Giants' number 1 pick, Abdul Carter, had the nerve to ask Lawrence Taylor, who's only probably the greatest NFL player of all time, if he can wear his number 56.
And how'd that work out for him? How'd that work out for him?
What? What? You want to wear Lawrence Taylor's number 56? The Lawrence Taylor. You want to go out?
He shot his shot because answers always no if you don't ask. Shot his shot.
God damn. How much must you think of yourself to ask Lawrence Taylor?
Lawrence Taylor.
And Abdul Carter said, I would love to wear that number, but hey, I think it's retired. Get another.
Hey, Warren Moon is a bad boy. But when you compare him to quarterbacks, okay. But Lawrence Taylor, he's the gold standard, man. He's the gold standard. I like to wear your uniform. And I wasn't the number 1 pick. And I wasn't a Heisman Trophy. But I still want to wear.
Now, according to the New York Post, Lawrence Taylor has already said no to Abdul Carter. Like, nah, man, you're not going to wear my jersey. And I busted my ass for, a couple of Super Bowls, 10 straight Pro Bowls, and you haven't played one NFL game yet, but you want to come out and we're number 56? That's like something getting drafted in the NBA by the Chicago Bulls and say, you see that 23 up there? I want to wear that number.
Yeah.
You think Mike would mind if I bring that jersey down and wear it in my first year with the Bulls?
What's the kid on Duke, the basketball player? Cooper, what's his name? Cooper Flag. Go to Boston. Hey, y'all mind wearing number 33?
For real?
Or maybe number 6. Can I wear 6?
Oh, that's out of bounds, man. Like, you don't do that. Establish your own legacy.
No, I'd like to wear number 17. You want to wear Havlicek number?
Oh,
yeah.
Did you say establish your own legacy?
Yeah, he told him get your own number.
Did you say that though?
Huh?
He told him make your own number.
Him up in the corner. because you know where I'm going to go with this.
Go with it.
Jimmy?
Where are you gonna go?
23.
LeBron,
LBJ.
stop it. Stop it, Jenny.
LeBron,
Yeah.
You know, I got to
Yeah.
say something
Don't
about
care
some
no
Michael
mind.
Jordan. You know I do. You know I
Here's
do.
why. But here's why that it makes sense, Jenny, and it also doesn't make sense that any player go into the Bulls organization
Yes.
and ask for that number. Like that's never gonna happen. LeBron, like every other kid in America, wanted to be like Mike.
Of course.
That was the slogan. That's what every kid in the world basically wanted to wear. Everybody had those first pair of Jordans, the red and black ones. Everybody wanted to be like Mike. Kobe Bryant wanted to be like
Right. Jeff,
Nothing
Jenny,
wrong with
probably after LeBron, 23 is going to get retired. I say it's going to be the next number to be retired.
league wide, like Jackie.
Yes, league wide. No one else will wear 23.
That's like a
And
kid.
who we going to remember it for?
It'll be Jordan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But stop it. You're just gaslighting.
No, but
I've just heard what he said.
But LeBron, if anybody can wear that number, Jenny, who has held that number that Jeff talks about, has held it at a high standard, it's LeBron James.
Yep.
He's held that and he has not embarrassed that number. No,
Well,
he has
yeah,
not.
he's not embarrassed the number, but it's like you
But-
said,
but-
establish your own legacy in a number.
If you knew the guy that was going to wear, if LT knew 56 was going to go to Abdul and he was going to be NFL Defensive Player of the Year 3-4 times, 3 Super Bowls, 14-time All-Star, yeah, he could wear it.
Let's ask
He can
Michael
wear.
Jordan would he
But
he
it ain't
would-
going. But what we know now, what LeBron has done with 23, no problem, no problem. 4-time champion,
And all the
all-time leading scorer.
he did
Come on, he did not do that number disservice, Jenny Jones.
He wore
He
number
didn't.
6. He wore number 6 in Miami.
And he didn't do that any disservice. He won 2 chips with number 6.
I'm not that we're not talking about disservice. All I'm saying is he said establish your own legacy.
On
in
that
a-
team,
in a
on
number.
that team, what Jeff is talking about, that guy went to New York Giants and wanted 56. Now, if
I
he was
know.
on Kansas City and wanted to wear 56, no problem.
right. And that's equal to
But he wouldn't have asked for it though then.
No. But Jeff's on. You I like to wear your number. How about this, Jenny? Let's hit it home. Jeff. Tua Tagovailoa goes, Dan, I like to wear 13.
Did you just butcher his name? I think.
I
Just
can't
say-
say it.
just say it. Just say Tua.
just call him Tua.
Just call it Tua.
And guess what, Jenny? Tua was number 13 in college.
Yep.
Now, he didn't ask for that when he went to Miami, and he was a first pick, wasn't he not? Wasn't he the number 1 draft pick?
Yeah.
He was 13 in college. He went to Miami. He was their first round pick. He didn't go to Dan Marino asking for 13.
Yep.
Well, but he knew. He knew.
It's like if you're a rookie shortstop drafted by the New York Yankees
You don't ask for
and you go
That's for number one.
You don't.
who used to wear number 2? You know, just as good as that guy. Jeter. Y'all got his number. Let me call him.
DJ.
Mr. Jeter, can
Yeah.
I wear your 2?
No, man. Some things you don't touch.
You don't touch.
You know, some
He
things.
got a lot of nerve to ask 56.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how Abdul Carter does on the field. Now, I don't care how great he is. I doubt seriously he'll ever be as great as Lawrence Taylor.
Mm.
Lawrence Taylor, I don't know if you guys remember watching him play.
Oh, are you kidding?
Sacking quarterbacks with one hand, reaching across the line of scrimmage.
The way folks talk about how Steph has changed the long distance shooting with him and Clay.
Yeah.
Up until Lawrence Taylor, running backs used to block linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
when Lawrence Taylor started doing it, nope. They started bringing tight ends and tackles to block him.
Lawrence Taylor, yep.
He changed the whole concept of rush passer. It hasn't been, and they still been looking for Lawrence Taylor, and he started in 1981. There has not been him. There's been a couple close folks. Derek Thomas with Kansas City was excellent. He died tragically from that car wreck that paralyzed him. Might have been the closest getting to Lawrence Taylor. But Jenny, there's no LT. We keep look. Who's the next LT?
Lawrence Taylor is widely regarded as one of several names to be considered as the greatest football player.
Yes, Jim Brown. He's with Jim Brown.
Jim Brown's on that list. Lawrence Taylor's on that list. Deion Sanders is
Was
on
on
that
the list too.
Is Barry Sanders, or did we? No.
Barry is not bad though. Barry, I like that with Barry, but what Jeff is talking about, in spite of a lot of times they try to give it to a quarterback.
Yeah.
But everybody would see 56.
The NFL is one of the oldest games in the country.
And we've had a lot because it's what 100 and something years old now.
Yeah,
And,
over
it's
100.
what,
Yep. They had the 100 flag on it.
105 because
And
2020 I think was the 100th year because that was when the Super Bowl was here in Miami and we celebrated the 100th. So we
In
included
terms of the game-
105.
In terms of the game's greatest player, like even a player as great as Barry Sanders does not, in my opinion, qualify for that distinction. There are only a few names.
I'm asking.
Yeah, there are only a few names. I think Jerry Rice could be one. Walter Payton could be another.
Sweetness.
Mention Lawrence Taylor, primetime.
How about this one? You go to San Francisco, wide receiver.
Yeah,
I like to wear number 80.
Yeah.
You want Jerry Rice's number? Oh yeah, Mr. Rice. Can I wear your number?
I
Really?
admire Abdul Carter's what is it? His ambition.
It's Moxie.
Yeah, but you don't do that. You don't go to and that's just
You
so
do like Cam Ward and wait for them to come to you.
yeah. I mean, I get it that Warren Moon gave Cam Ward his number one, but Warren Moon did that. And I have no problem with Lawrence Taylor saying, hell no. You can't wear this number.
New England. Cam Ward goes to New England. Can I wear 12?
Yeah. Ambitious. Yeah. Smart. No.
You want to wear 12?
No.
Gee, it
Ain't happening.
ain't. Just
It
a
ain't
quick list here. I just pulled up something quickly. They have the top 3 of all time. Tom Brady 1, Jerry Rice 2, Lawrence Taylor 3, Jim Brown 4.
Wow.
All time. And I cannot argue Jerry Rice as being one of the greatest non-quarterbacks. And guys, seven chips. It's hard to, I know we didn't say his name yet, but Brady, 7 titles.
He's got to be one. He's got to be.
Yeah, but
I did not like Tom Brady because
I know
of the Chuck Rule game.
some things that they did New England, we question, but I get it. 1, Jerry Rice 2, Lawrence Taylor 3. So he's asking for the third grade, number 3 all time. Can I wear your jersey?
Yeah. And I have no problem with that list either.
No.
Can you repeat the list? Because where's Jerry Rice on that list for?
Number 2.
Number
Jim
2.
Brown was 4. I thought it was I think on Sports Night. Tom Brady 1, Jerry Rice 2, Lawrence Taylor 3, Jim Brown 4. And 5 was Reggie White.
Oh.
The Minister of Defense. That's like going to Philadelphia and asking for 92, Jenny.
Yeah. I can't argue with that.
That's a
Speaking
list.
of legendary Fitz Davis, this might interest you. Remember the Washington football team?
Yes.
Legendary games. They play, I do believe, somewhere in Maryland, but not at the historic RFK site.
The Commanders.
The Commanders are going home, back to where they built their outstanding legacy at RFK Stadium. They will build them a new stadium.
Ooh, did you hear it? It's going to have a roof.
A new stadium on that historic site.
Yeah.
It's
going to be a $1 billion stadium. It's going to be amazing. They said it's going to be where the old stadium was.
Yep.
It's going to have a retractable roof.
If
That's
you
going
watch
to be nice.
this clip right here, you will feel the energy from that stadium. Take a look.
I can still hear the crowds. When I first stepped into RFK Stadium, I knew I'd found a home. The roar of the fans, the energy of the city, united as one, was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. RFK Stadium was the stage for the world's greatest in sports, culture, and entertainment. All in the heart of our nation's capital. It's time to revive that legacy. Let's bring the Commanders home. A new stadium will serve as the anchor for the RFK site, unlocking new opportunities for generations to come. This means new housing, new restaurants, retail, and public spaces are all possible. The stadium development will create new access to the Anacostia waterfront while preserving some of our city's treasures. A world-class city deserves a world-class stadium, uniting a sea of burgundy and gold. Something that unites us in our pride for the district. The time is now. Let's bring Washington back to D.C.
Man, gives me goosebumps.
Bring my Hurricanes back to Miami.
Yeah.
Get them out of Fort Lauderdale. It's damn near Fort Lauderdale to me. Bring them back to Miami. Bring the Dolphins too, and the Hurricanes back to where the old Orange Bowl used to be. Let that be the $1 billion stadium.
That's Marlins Park right now.
Well, they need to redo Marlins Park.
But I wish, you know what, Fitz? It's interesting that you brought that up, because don't you guys wish, and you as well, Jenny, that the Dolphins and the Canes home games
Should be the
were
same place.
more in the city of Miami, more so than Miami Gardens right here? Like it's something.
I don't mind, because that Miami Drive is a whole bunch. The traffic is a whole bunch. So
when that game was back in the day with the Orange Bowl, people cooking that food on the side, the mystery meat they had over there, man, that place was just jumping. And you could see the skyline right there, Miami. That was Miami, man. That was Miami.
I can tell you, having been in DC, and just being DC, the whole DMV, Baltimore, that whole area, they are nuts.
They're gonna go. That football team going back. They're gonna get everybody.
Yeah,
everybody's gonna go.
You think Dolphin fans are a strong fan base? The people up there are crazy.
Crazy. They have it in wills. Tickets are willed. Season tickets are in wills. They're so hard to get there, and they got a good quarterback too. Hey man, they're building themselves for the future.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough to beat. I remember growing up watching my Raiders go play in RFK Stadium, and I was afraid for them.
Your
You know?
Raiders.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I've been out there to the Bay. My first Raider game was against the New York Jets, and they told me do not stand anywhere near a Jets fan because you might get hit with a brick,
with a battery or something.
like Like, that's a bit excessive.
Mhm.
I always thought going to Miami Dolphin games was cool because nobody bothers you. You can wear the other team's jersey and you won't be in danger.
I was in Oakland last year. My wife and I, we went to see our son in Stanford. And we just drove through because I heard that there's a barbecue restaurant. You talking about a city, Jenny, that's been hit hard. They lost the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
They lost the A's. They lost Golden State. All their teams that played there, gone. Golden State went over to San Francisco. The Raiders in Vegas, and that's the same place the A's are going. And just, that used to be a city of champions. And like Jeff said, man, they love their Raiders, boy. They love their Oakland Raiders. And just going to that city and just to see how a team can either revive or kill a city. It's just like, whoa. And I had to bring that up, Jeff, because you can see how live, because I just was in Dallas and I saw how the Rangers just built another stadium right next to where the Cowboys play. And that place is just vibrant. But man, so sad about Oakland, man. They lost it all.
I will say this about your Hurricanes, and then we'll wrap it up, is that I wish that there was a stadium closer to the campus. We've never had that other than the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
But man, because them playing in Hard Rock Stadium,
it's just
the most electric I've ever felt. I don't know if you were at this game when they played Notre Dame.
I wasn't there. I heard.
On Saturday night. It was the first and only time I ever felt Hard Rock Stadium rocking. The building was rocking. Never felt that before.
If I can leave you with this too, Jenny, Jeff, when the Miami teams, the football teams, when they're on, their fans are crazy. I've seen the Dolphins when they're hot. Their fans are like, and when the Canes,
they're stout.
But you have to have, Jeff, a good product in South Florida to sell.
It's too much to do. Too many beaches, too much nightlife. It's options. It's too many options.
Yep. So anyway, guys, man, it's been a great whatever Wednesday. We'll chop it up again here.
Tuskegee Airmen.
You got no doubt.
Shout out.
Shout out to the great Tuskegee Airmen.
I couldn't really see it. It's because the light is shining to where I couldn't really get the full view of your hat and your.
Is that better?
It's a little better. Take a
Tuskegee
picture.
Airmen. Okay.
Take a picture and send it to me.
Okay. Just want to pay homage to them, those amazing men that sacrificed for us 80 years ago.
Yep.
And I can say I'm blessed to be able to sit here with the two of you for some of the things that they did, that they tried to erase. But it's there. Tuskegee Airmen.
Yep.
No doubt. We up out of here, folks. Thank you for hanging. I appreciate each and every one of you. Much love, Jenny Jones and Fitz Davis, the best co-hosts in the world.
Oh, Jeff, you the man.
We'll do it again. You're on the Jeff Fox Show. See you later, folks.
Peace.
In 2011, Kelly Williams Bowler spent 9 days in jail for sending her daughters to a high-performing school outside of her district. She had unknowingly broken a law called boundary hopping. In the land of opportunity, that law is meant to make sure poor, underprivileged folk don't better educate themselves without that white man stamp of approval. America promises equal opportunity to everyone. No matter who you are, you can go to a good school, get a great job, live in a great house. But none of that is possible without that white man stamp of approval. Don't believe me? Here, I'll prove it to you. Can you get a good job earning a living wage without that white man stamp of approval? Making minimum wage, he would have to work 140 hours a week, or better put, 24 hours a day, 6 days a week to earn a living wage. Now, if that makes you go into work tomorrow and ask your boss for a raise, be prepared. You're probably gonna need that white man stamp of approval to get it. So now you wanna buy a house. and you have to get a loan. I think you can see where this is going. In 2015, 27.4% of black applicants were denied mortgages, more than twice that of white applicants. And when black applicants were approved, they usually paid higher interest rates. The top lenders are JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Quicken Loans. Want to take a guess who runs these companies? As long as we need that white man stamp of approval, our fate will be in the hands of those who may not think we qualify. Some people will say the system is broken. I'm here to tell you it was intentionally built this way.
We try to be funny with nicknames. We call big people nicknames like Tiny, Slim. We nickname people after food. I know a cornbread, a pork chop, and a collard green. I know this one dude, his nickname is Boss, and he ain't got no job. I'm like, who you the boss of? Yourself? Yeah, but I think white dudes have the coolest nicknames. I really do. Because white dudes' nicknames go with them their entire life. Yeah, white dudes have nicknames like Rusty, Skip, Chip. Like your nickname could be Chip. You could be the CEO of a bank. You can have Chip on your business cards. The brothers can't do that. Pookie can't be a branch manager at the bank. You don't trust your money with Pookie. I'm like, right this way, Dr. Junebug will see you. I'm like, no, he will not. Like, what you're not gonna do is have me in a room with a Dr. Junebug. That's what.
The Jeff Fox Show, brought to you by Remix Sports Media.